Hello plant community, thanks for tuning in to this channel. My name is Pam and today you guys is a fun one for you. I am going to share with you 8 of my favorite variegated plants that are not only aesthetically pleasing to me but been just a joy to grow. If this seems like something that you like, please subscribe. Okay guys, so really quick, I have 8 plants that are bringing me joy to grow, as well as just giving me all this beautiful eye candy for me, plant candy if you will. And I thought it would be fun because I'm actually going to try to rank it in some kind of order from 8 to my top 1. Last year I did a video, you guys, where we talked about the different types of variegation. If that seems like something that you're interested in, the link to that video will be in the description. Check it out. I found it very informative and helpful and useful for me to have a better understanding as far as variegation, how does it happen, what it all means, and things like that. So yeah, if you want to check it out, please do so. Okay, so plant number 8. 2 reasons why I put it on this list. Very common plant, but you gotta admit it's a beautiful plant. And this is just a spider plant, just a regular spider plant. Now, I have a Bonnie plant that was thriving and now she's not, and I'm starting her completely all the way over and she seems to be doing well. I haven't really talked too much at all. I haven't made a mention of all of the regular spider plant. I just really love the dark green outer with that cream in the middle. Is a very subtle yet stately piece. Now, I haven't made a mention of her because I don't have her growing in my house. This plant right here is actually one of my office plants. And I've only had her for about 8 months now, 8, maybe 9 months. It was actually a pup. I took 2 little pups about this size, you guys, from one of my colleagues' plant, who is not a plant person, by the way, but they were gifted a plant. So they offered a couple of the pups. And so I took 2. And within 8 months' time, those 2 baby pups then turned into, seemed like 4 plants in here. And she is growing and easy to root. And she's just been loving life. Now, I brought her home because I will be starting a new job. Yay! I'm excited about that, at a new location and everything. So I had to kind of like clean out my office and things like that, my area, my workspace, and I decided to bring her in. So I do believe she will be traveling back to work with me, hopefully. This plant is pretty adaptable to lighting conditions, and she's very communicative, in my personal opinion, when she needs a drink. And I have her in, this is just a cash pot, but I just potted her up because her roots, you guys, was just, I just recently repotted her because her roots was just astronomically insane. I have it in a very airy mix. It's a lot of bark and perlite and pumice in regular soil mixture, and this tends to be the beautiful plan for her. She's leaning towards the light, as you can tell from the way I have had her sitting, but you really can't tell. I don't know. But anyway, spider plant number 8. Number 7. I'm torn between 7 and 6, you guys, but I'm going to go with my gut. Number 7 is this beautiful Maranta lemon lime. I missed the watering on her. And you see like a crispy leaf right here that I need to cut off. And then it's a yellowing leaf. And that's what happens when you miss a watering. But you guys, look at all the new growth that's just been popping out on top. So far, from what I can see, outside of the 3 that y'all see shooting right here, she's trying to not only flower, but she has another growth point. Honestly, guys, I put her on the shelving unit where she's getting, I don't know. To me, honestly, the Sansi light has been a game changer for her because she was actually balding a little bit, and I was debating on whether or not to chop and prop her. But I said I was going to wait to actually do it for the next growing season, or when we get closer to the growing season to actually do it. But I don't know. I just put her underneath that light, and I don't know. She's just exploded in growth, man. She's outside of the Sancy Light, she's already an easy care plant in my personal opinion. I love these are the new leaves, by the way. You can tell because the paw prints or whatever is darker. As y'all can see, she had a lot of growing going on. But I really love this plant. I love the subtle lemon lime color that she gives with the beautiful dark contrast of color between almost black in color to a dark green to a lime green. So a lot of variegation going on here. Very aesthetically pleasing, very easy to grow as long as you maintain the proper watering. And like I said, because I have her under Sancy light now, those lights are hot, you guys, and these plants are using up a lot more energy. So I have to switch up my watering routine when it comes to the ones that's actually on that shelf. But I have her potted up in this glazed pot, which also holds moisture a little bit longer, so I won't have to worry about watering her every 15 minutes, so to speak. But yeah, plant number 7. Number 6, you guys, I was torn between this one and the other one I'll just talk about, but I'm not going to show. This one is a beautiful classic one, you guys, that I think no one can deny is not easy to grow. And that would be my pothos Snow Queen. She is very easy to grow. Of course, when I first brought her, she was even lighter than this. However, you have to give them insane amounts of light to hold on to that very white variegation. So she's kind of changing a little bit, but she is still beautiful in variegations. And you can kind of see the new growth, because the new growth always come out that fresh, vibrant, like, I don't know what color that is, that creamy yumminess that she does. And she's just recently started getting a little bit darker. Of course, as she's growing down, she's not getting as much light. I have her just basically hanging on this wall here where she hangs down on the side. So she's probably like 8 feet away, 10 feet away from the window. And I had repotted her, I don't know, probably a few months back because her root system was just getting robust, because I initially had her in a 4-inch terracotta pot, but now she's in is this a 6-inch? 6-inch or 5-inch? I can't remember. I think 6-inch. And yeah, like, look at that. So I was torn between this one and my Mandula pothos, but I haven't had her for only probably like maybe 2 months at best, maybe 3-ish. I didn't have her long enough, in my personal opinion, for me to say, yeah, she's been such a joy to grow in 3 months. I mean, maybe she is, but I felt like it would have been insulting to someone that I've had for years. And we are friends, and I want us to stay that way. So this is number 6. Yeah, number 6. Number 5. Number 5 has just been one of those wish list plants that you finally get, and you get it into your house, and she's grows for you, doesn't really give you much trouble, and this plant has been a joy to grow for me. And this is my Hoya huskilliana, the variegated one, intervariegated, and she has really grown for me since I've had her. I have not had her, I don't know if I've had her for a year. If I did, it's like right on the cusp of the year. But you guys, she has just been growing for me so good. I have been babying her like crazy. She is one of the ones that's just so dear to my heart, and delicate and thin flower leaves, till I would not put her on my Hoyer wall. Honestly, you guys, I would be too afraid to. So she is not broke, so I'm not going to try to fix her. And she's just going to live her best life in the confines of this room. She's hanging right now actually by my door back here that has a window, and so she's getting a lot of light, but she loves it. She's in a very airy mix, because I can't remember who I got this from. It's an Etsy grower, one of my favorites, by the way. I can't think of the name, I apologize, but she grows her in nothing but cocoa chips, and I don't know, it's been good. And she's been giving me flowers or blooms. I don't know, let me see. I don't even know if I can show y'all. Y'all see that? And I'm not sure. One of you had made a mention, and this will be for a healthy, open discussion, you guys, and y'all can comment, let me know. But one of you guys said that for the most part, Husqvarna, their blooms don't really open up. They'll give you a little peekaboo action, but as far as actually uh, forming into an actual flower would not be the case. So let's get a conversation started with that. Let me know if that's true. Has that been your experience? Really, not really if it's been true, because if it's been your experience, it's been your experience. So it's your truth, right? But let me know if, if y'all have experienced that. Because honestly, that's all I've seen so far. I'm like, dang, I've been waiting around for her to open up. And then you give her, she'll hang around like this for a few days, and then she'll just be gone. So I don't know. Now, the person did make a mention that they smell nice. And I may have to sniff her again in the evening, because I do know that some Hoyas, or most of our Hoyas, are very fragrant in the night. I don't smell anything with her now. I don't know. But I really can't. So fine and dainty. I don't know. But anyway. Number 5. Now we're getting to the final 4, where the fun begins. Okay, so I have my final 2. I'm in a conflict as far as who's 4 and 3. Okay. This is number 4. This is my Epiprimnum pinnatum marble, you guys. I love this plant. This plant has been very easy to grow for me. I don't even want to really put her on a stake, you guys. I admire her hanging like she is. I'm not even into whether or not if she will size up for me. I am just loving the slits, the cuts that she's giving me. I just want to have her hanging. We can't, for space wise, and can't have every plant staked up any more than you can have every plant hanging down. It's just almost impossible. So you have to do a variation of it, right? So right now she is hanging on my shelf right here in my sunroom. And I know at some point when she gets too long, I will have to move her from here and put her somewhere else, maybe on a sturdier shelf type of situation. She's just in this small, like 3-inch planter that I've never taken her out. Looks like she got a lot of mixture of very aerating, very, very airy soil. If I ever upsize her, of course, I will have to once she becomes root bound, right? I will try my best to mimic the soil action that's going on. But you guys, this is the latest leaf that hasn't even unfurled yet. And this is one of the leaves before that. Look at that. What I really love is not only is it very easy care, but I respect her for giving me that very good, healthy balance of a variegation, to the point where I don't have to worry about blasting her with light to maintain this, because she has enough green on her where the chlorophyll will do what it does, right? So look at that. Oh man. It's like you don't know what you're gonna get. Each leaf, if you look at it, you guys, is just so subtly beautiful and different. Like this right here. This is a dreamy leaf right here. Oh man. Oh, beautiful. So number 4. Now we're getting down to number 3. This is a baby of mine. I'm about to pull her up. Monstera. What is this? Lechli Rihanna? Yeah. Lechli Rihanna variegated. I have to say it slow, you guys. A little tongue twister. But you guys, I have her in this cash po, but she's really in clear. Guys, I love, look at, it's so subtle with the variegation, you guys. Each leaf is different. Now, mind you, I brought her in January of 2024. When I brought her in January of 2024, she only had 3 leaves, you guys. And I think out of the process, I may have lost one of them. And within less than a year, because I took a photograph of the picture and I wrote the date on it, smart. So I brought the plant actually January the 11th of 2024. So not quite a year yet, and she's grew all of these leaves, man. She is a fast grower. I need to water this moss pole. She's definitely, as you can see, with the exception of up at the top right here, she doesn't really have any clamps going on because she's already rooted into the spag. So I just wanted to grow her up, you guys. Not really in trying to, get her to size up or anything. If she does, great. But guys, look at that. Like, look at that. And it's just look at that. I appreciate, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful, you guys. I love her. Couldn't get enough of it. Oh, she's got some brown tips right here. I think I gotta be, sometimes I don't be mindful with my watering sometimes. And she's just growing right into my dining room area beside my shelving unit where she's getting fancy light. And I don't know, she's did all this growing off of artificial lighting, so she hasn't really given me any problems. I try to make sure I keep her leaves clean. Matter of fact, I may need to give her a little wipe down sometime soon. I like keeping the leaves clean so that they can photosynthesize even more so in the winter time, since they are fighting for a lot of energy, right? But beautiful plant. Number 2 is a plant that is really tugging at my heartstrings because I've had her at a small specimen and now she's trying to start to develop and mature. So right now I have what I would categorize like a teenage version of this plant, and that is my Monstera Con. Now I've had her in my collection, you guys, for about a year. It's definitely been over a year, because if y'all have seen me do that video, Year of the Tie, where I actually followed her growth pattern for an entire year and videoed and took you guys along with me for the ride. It was very interesting, by the way. Check that out too. But when I first brought her, she was small. Of course, because at that time when I got her, that's when they were not being mass produced and they were just starting to slightly come down, but only come down for small baby specimens at the time. And I can't remember how much I paid for it, but when I did get it, it was probably maybe like 2-3 leaves on there. So far, 1 leaf has yellowed and fell off. So for the most part, I want to say these are the 2 leaves that came with it, and they just sized up a little bit, and now they are sizing up. No fenestrations, which I don't care about, because guys, that variegation is so, I love the stableness of the variegation. I'm not even mad. And I don't know if y'all can even see, she's putting out another leaf, you guys. So I feel like she's trying to take off. I have her in this not so aesthetically pleasing pot, because I did transport her along with my Monstera elbow, and I think I just recently showed you guys that one, and she's trying to mirror that one in regards to the roots, because check it out. Pull it out. This thing got some weight to it. She's trying to, this is root action here and here, even here. So she's loving it. Like I said, I just have her in a mixture of pond, maybe a little bit of leca, because I was trying to stretch my pond out because pond is so expensive. Been thinking about actually probably making my own mixture, because what I'm noticing in regards to that is just that it's a little bit easier for me to maintain the watering aspect. As you start growing your collection, or your collection get out of hand with the growth, the watering can be a little bit challenging. And this has been kind of like an easy thing for me. So, and I know they don't like a lot of water. So what I do is, like right now, she has very little water in here. And as you can see, you see the algae. See where the algae level is? It's kind of like where I keep the water. Now, traditionally for this thing, you would probably have the water up to here. But because I know that they're not really big of a fan of a whole lot of water, I didn't want to fill it all the way there. So I'm kind of controlling the reservoir by just putting maybe an inch of water in this thing. And so far, so good. She's been liking it. She usually sits on the floor right here, where she's getting light from my Sansi light right here. And she is loving it, man. What? Who? Where? How? Amazing! So, my last plant number one, you guys, the absolute eye candy, plant candy for me, you guys. And you probably are not going to believe it, but you won't be surprised that it is a Hoya. But it is my Hoya Wilbur Graves, you guys. God dang it. Guys, not too long ago, you guys, I was actually doing some work in here and I was cleaning, tidying up the shelves, and I just saw how she was shooting out and growing these baby leaves. And I really sat down in this chair, by the way, and I was looking at her and I was like, just admiring her leaves, you guys. Just take a moment. Just take a look at these leaves. Look at that dark green with the subtle constellation speckling going on, and then it has half silverness. Like, each leaf is beautiful in its own right. And this is the one where I actually propagated the 2 cuttings and I put on this side. So I am hoping that, you know, when growth season comes, she'll start shooting out. But because I did chop her, it did promote her to grow out, because she did shoot out this entire vine right here. And since I've had her really underneath that light, I'm not kidding, guys, the CNC light has really been pushing out these leaves right here. And I mean, it's so freaking beautiful, you guys. I love the Wilbur Graves so much that this was actually my second plant. My first Wilbur Graves is actually this one right here. But I don't know. Her leaves are beautiful. Don't get me wrong, the leaves are beautiful. And she also blooms for me. This will be her second time blooming for me. It just hasn't opened up yet. She is gorgeous. She is gorgeous, but she is of a lighter gray version, and I don't know if it's a lighting situation. I'm starting to think it's a genetic situation at this point, because you got to think, this one is getting natural light, God's nectar, if you will, this one. And this one is getting artificial light, and she's being blasted with a whole lot of it. And for some reason, her leaves are darker. How's that possible, right? With a lot of light. So I'm thinking the genetics, but I'm really loving the genetics of this plant. That doesn't mean I don't love you any less, because I love her too. But I just wanted to show y'all that, just for the simple fact that she's blooming. Of course, if her blooms open up, I think I did do a Hoya of the day with her. I may do it again for you guys, just so, because I think the first time she bloomed, it wasn't a full ball like that. This bloom looks really, really fuller than what I remember. So I'm super excited for it to open up. And of course, I will share that with you guys. But you guys, she's just loving it because she's not in, I'm doing a no drainage situation with her. And so this is what I did. This was my thought process in mind when I potted her up. Since I know Hoyas love having root systems confined and compressed, I did not fill this all the way up with soil. I want to say about a good half of this is filled with leca pebbles. And then I put the soil and potted the plant in this. And so what I do, honestly, you guys, I water her. I let it sit for a little bit because I want her to absorb whatever water that fell down here. And I wait for maybe, honestly, 5 minutes tops, because I try not to wait too long, because I don't want to forget and have her sitting in water. And then I just usually hold the soil and pour out all of the whatever remaining water is in there. And when I do that, you know, I make sure that isn't that she is bone dry before I give her a drink. So far so good. It's been helping. You know, like if these leaves are hard and stiff, I will definitely not give her water, which they are. You can tell they're very nice and healthy and shiny and everything. Look at that leaf. Do y'all have a Wilbur Graves? If not, am I tempting you? But I love this plant. This is the top plant, you guys. For obvious reasons, not only am I a Hoya head, but she's been a small specimen, but an easy to grow specimen. She's been starting to take off now. I'm super excited what the growing season will bring for her. But she is really showing off right now in the winter time, and I am not mad at her. So that pretty much ends this video, you guys. Please let me know too, which one between an 8 and the number 1, which one would be your favorite? Oh, and if y'all want to make it a game, this would be cool too. But that would require y'all to have to go back in time. I don't know how much y'all love me to go back. But if you like to have a fun game, if you remember, group them yourself. Which ones would you think ranks from 8 to 1 in your category? I would love that. I think that would be super cool to find out. But anyway, keep in mind, if you love foliage as much as I do and you love listening to planty things, definitely subscribe to this channel. Keep pushing those thumbs up. Keep pushing them up and out, and that will help my channel as well. Enjoy your day wherever you are in the world, and until next time, guys, much love. And you gotta admit, man, if you don't have one of these, go ahead and get them because the price is coming down, man. Look at this. Gorgeous. Bye.